What's up, my beautiful butterflies? It's the Awakened Butterfly, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. If you enjoy the content, don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. Welcome back, my beautiful butterflies. I missed you guys already. I'm starting to warm up to the camera more, and the more I'm doing that, it's like I'm getting more and more eager to communicate with you guys and put out content. Sorry, guys. Put out more and better content. Um, I hope everyone's taking care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love everyone out there, and I keep every last one of you in my prayers, and I wish the best for everyone. I was just sitting here relaxing, guys. I just got done doing all my work and everything, and I was just thinking about the last video that I put out about the workplace situations with insurance fraud, and I was like, you know what, this really does strike up a. I'm sorry, guys. This really does strike up a story time that I would like to talk to you guys about. And I'm here, real life, with my hair bonnet on. Apologize for the hair day, guys. I'm in the middle of getting my hair braided soon, so I'm just in between here, so bear with me. But I want you guys to see the real me, of course, and give you guys a real story time about hold on, guys, I need some water. Hold on 1 second. Guys, I'm drinking spring water with lemon and lime in it. It's really good for you. Alright, I apologize, guys. I have to get myself together for this story time because I have a lot to share. Alright. In one of my other story times, I was discussing a job position at Mars. Yes, I did mention the job. It was Mars. Well, this story is about where I had a position at the Wrigley company before I worked for Mars. And when I first heard about first let me get into how I heard about the job, okay? My cousin told me about the job. It wasn't exactly for direct hire through Wrigley. You were getting hired as a temp, and if they like your work performance, there's a good chance that you could be hired through the company. Well, my cousin, when she told me about the job, and I know this may sound weird, but it sounded like a TV commercial. And I know this is not going to sound weird to my butterflies, so I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And if you guys want to check out the Truman Show, how Truman's wife, when she was trying to give him something or offer him something, it's like she was advertising it as if she was in a television commercial, which in all reality she really, was, in a way, by it being a reality show. But that's how I felt, like the way my cousin described the job. She was like, hey, guess what? SMX is hiring for Wrigley position, and everybody's going. It's a good job. It's just the way she just presented it. It got me hyped up. Me not having any awareness of gang stalking at all. I didn't know anything about gang stalking at that time. I'm looking at it as a second job because I already had a job cleaning at the hospital. So I just seen this as a great opportunity to make extra money on the side. And, well, actually, it would have been my main job, in my hospital. My cleaning job at the hospital would have been on the side. So I needed, a little more money. So I was like, yeah, why not? And plus, this job was paying every week, and the job I had was paying bi-weekly. So I was like, yeah, this sounds like a great opportunity. So the process to get the job was fine. My drug test, my background, and all of that stuff was fine. After that, came back, well, we had to take some type of little comprehension test. It wasn't hard. After we took that test, they told us they were going to call us back with our start date. They called me back. The only thing I had to get was some steel-toe boots to start the job. You will actually be working for the Wrigley Candy Company, but through a different company which had an office inside of the Wrigley Company. It was a temp service. So after working there for about 3 months, I was working very hard. You work 12-hour shifts. Like, you would work Monday and Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You will be off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it rotated back and forth. So I was cool with that. Everything was fine, you know. I started noticing that there was a difference between the SMX temp workers and the Wrigley workers. I mean, in so many ways, you know. For one, of course, their positions were higher because anyone that worked for the Wrigley Company was more than likely a machine operator. We were more like the people who assisted them. Like, if the machine messed up, if there was something minor, they'd teach us how to, you know, fix that. The cleaning part, you know, if any candy spills or anything like that, we were just the ones assisting to help keep the machines running, pretty much. Filling the machines with candy, things like that. That's what we were doing. The pallet jack, you know. So I also noticed that the people who were temp workers I usually heard them discuss, you know, having problems paying their bills, or someone would just walk up randomly on lunch break and, you know, ask someone, do you know where I could take out a loan? As to the Wrigley workers, you may hear them talking about what new car they're about to buy next. I mean, you could really see the difference. So it had a lot of temp workers wanting to be Wrigley, you know, full-time hired through the company workers. And they were making a lot more. I was one of those people at that time that wanted to work for Wrigley. And I wanted to work for them very badly, to the point that where I didn't miss a day within those 90 days I worked for the temp service, because I wanted to let them know that I was reliable. And I kept getting Employee of the Month. I got Employee of the Month twice. And there was a man they called him the $1 Million Man. And he was one of the head men over Wrigley. And they said he actually, from working hard and saving his money, and due to his position in the company, he's actually worth more than $1 million. And that was a lot, you know, just coming from a local, you know, worker in the city. So I looked up to this man, and I walked up to him one day and I said, "Sir, what do I have to do to become a real Wrigley worker and employee?" And he said, "Just keep doing what you're doing." And he said, "I'm watching." He said, "I'm always looking for new people to recruit into the company." So, okay. And if you guys, I mean, you know, me just saying it now, I'm starting to feel occult vibes. I don't know if you guys are starting to feel it now, just as I'm getting a little bit more into the story, but, yeah, so eventually, as months go by, I'm working hard. My supervisor from the temp service said, "Shanita, they want you. They want you to come and work for them. They are very pleased with your performance, and they would like to hire you through the company." Guys, I didn't know what to do. I was so excited. I mean, I was so happy. I just didn't know what to do. So the hiring process was very long, just like if you guys checked out my other story time about Mars. This hiring process was probably a little longer than that, because I had to take a longer class on machine operation with Wrigley. As with Mars, I didn't have to do that. And it was a lot of math involved, and a lot of those things didn't even take place on the floor, but, you know, we had to learn it. And I just felt myself changing. The interview process was so long. The questions that they asked, you have to have 3 different interviews with 3 different people. And it was just, it was such a big deal. The testing was hard for Wrigley. It was percentages. And I studied very hard before I took the test. So with me still working for the temp service, because you have to still work for them until, your time is through. Until after a certain amount of time. And then you no longer, work for them. And it seems like I crossed over. It felt funny because it's like a lot of my temp workers were looking at me different, like, oh, you're with them now. Like when I became a Wrigley worker and I start walking through the building, it's like I felt my fellow employees, looking at me like, but I just wanted to move up in the company. I was a hard worker. I worked very hard for everything. But due to me being a down-to-earth person, once I got in there, I started to realize that it wasn't what I thought it was. Okay, guys, once you get hired and you go through the process, they arrange for you to meet the true owners of the Wrigley company, and it is a very famous and rich family from Britain, I think, and they came to the job for us to actually meet them, and everyone was taking pictures. It was a very big deal. It was a very big deal, and just for us to be able to meet them, they never arranged for any of the SMX workers to meet. You can only get to meet them once you get hired onto the job. So I did, at this time, me not being aware of gang stalking or anything like that, I'm feeling very special and happy for myself. I wanted my parents to be proud of me. I wanted my family to be proud of me. And, I feel like I would be making enough money to do more for my sons and the rest of my family. I just wanted to help people that needed my help. So now I'm hired, right? Now they're giving you a mentor, someone to train you, someone to walk you through this situation. Now, the only thing you can hope and pray for at this point is that they give you a nice, honest person that wants to see you succeed in the company. Unfortunately, I did not get that, okay? Now, before I get... Okay, let's see. So, in the midst of all of this, okay, I am living with my grandmother. And by it being my grandmother's house, there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. And the more I'm at work, the more I'm coming home and my things are gone. Things I work hard for are stolen. And, nothing's being done about it. So I decided to leave my grandmother's house and move into a hotel. At this time, I'm just starting to get hired through the company at Wrigley. Let's just say the gang stalking begins, okay? And let's just say it already had began when I got lured to this job. Okay, so now I have my mentor. And the first thing that this woman says to me is, you're responsible for 2 machines. Now, guys, these machines are a lot. They have scales on them. You have to make sure the scales are a certain weight. There's about 10 of them rotating. You have to make, and the machines are like, not exaggerating, at least 15 to 20 feet long. I mean, probably longer than that. And then it has is it called a mezzanine? It goes up. It's like everything's put together. And there's a lot to do. So I started to get nervous because I realized that, wow, there is really a lot to being a Wrigley employee. Um, the lady that was training me she's she was very demanding, and a little mean. And she one day grabbed me and turned my head and said, "Look, I want you to look at this. These machines are your babies. Treat them like they're your children." And I kind of got creepy vibes from the way she said it. And when I looked over, I saw two ladies standing at the bathroom door, right? And they told me to come here. I mean, guys, they were just standing there. It's like they caught the whole scene of her grabbing me in mid action, and they told me to come here. I was almost near tears the way she, grabbed me, and I had just started, so I'm in training, so there wasn't any mistakes that had been made yet because I hadn't been on my own to do anything. So when I went in the bathroom, one of the ladies, she grabbed my shoulder in a nice way. She wasn't aggressive or anything. She said, "Sweetheart, it's going to be okay. Just hang in there." She was like, "I know you have," she's like, "I don't know if you're aware of this. You probably are by now, but you have one of the hardest trainers here. She said she's one of the best machine operators we have, but one of the hardest." And I said, "I understand." She's like, "Just hang in there. Don't let it get you down." I was like, "Yes, ma'am. It's okay. So I just sucked it up and went back out there on the floor and just whew, it was a lot, guys, dealing with this woman. She was very I started to realize she was trying to make it hard for me. It's like, I'm the best machine operator. I'm moving fast, so you better keep up. One of those type of things. Oh, you can't keep up. Sorry. Like, trying to make it hard for me, I realized. And I noticed that the job was wide open. Like, everyone's job was wide open. So if you mess up on anything, everyone can see it. There's cameras everywhere. There's workers everywhere. There's just, people watching you. Even, especially the people that are, it's like a competition. Who can push the most candy out, and, the most production over the next person. Who can troubleshoot these machines. And that was the thing. They never taught you how to troubleshoot, but they expected you to know this. And I felt like this was a form of gang stalking because the training, no one's professionally training you because the person that's training you, they're working at the same time. The woman that was training me to run two machines, she had two machines to run at the same time. So how was she to train me when she had her own job to do? So now I started to notice on the job that I really had to, stay strong. And I was like, I'm going to get through this. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. So I'm going to switch back and forth from the job to my personal life because all of this is hand in hand. Okay, so now personal life. Okay, so now I have an ex-boyfriend who was coming to check on me at the hotel. We were not together. He was just my ride to work until I could, get my car, get a better form of transportation. And he didn't spend the night with me or anything like that. It was nothing romantic between us. He would come and check on me sometimes or ask me if I need to go get food or things like that. Which I was near a lot of places, so I really didn't need, I was in the city, so I really didn't need rides to places. But anyway, he showed up and he said, "Hey, my friend, and you know her, she has a big house, and she said that you could rent one of her rooms out if you like. Y'all could be roommates, and you won't have to spend all of your money here in the hotel." And I thought about it for a minute because my purpose, I think the whole purpose for me moving out of my grandmother's house, I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what it was. I was starting to feel the gang stalking, but didn't know it was gang stalking. So I was kind of skeptical about moving to someone's home, even though I had met the girl a couple of times. She had came to my house. I knew her. But I didn't know if I knew her enough to feel comfortable with living with her. And I felt like he just kept trying to pressure me to do it. And, for some reason, this person, I don't know why, maybe it was because they were a few years older than me, they always had some type of impact on, how I did certain things because they were smart, and I did look up to them, but maybe for not all the right reasons, especially concerning this situation. Like the manipulation, the things that they were probably manipulating me on, and I didn't understand that it was manipulation. You guys get it. So I move in with this girl, right? And it's weird because I feel like she's watching my every move, like everything I do. She was like, "Oh, and I'll take you to work. You don't have to worry about that. I'll make sure, when you don't have a way to work, I'll make sure you get back and forth." So I'm like, okay, it's fine, But now I'm starting to notice that the person, my ex, is starting to act very weird. So it's just, and they were good friends, so it was probably constant reports going, back and forth from her to him, which there was nothing to tell, but who knows. She had a girlfriend that didn't live there, but would just, spend a night and come there sometimes. And she had a brother, which I was very cool with him. Back to the job. Okay, I just had to let you guys know that. Okay, so now back to the job. Okay, so now I'm kind of on my own with this machine operation stuff. And I noticed that no one's really trying to help me. The job is very hard, the troubleshooting. You have to take the machines apart, clean the blades. I mean, these are big machines. I feel like any woman operating these machines should have a man partner, for the heavy stuff, because I did try to lift up some film and I hurt my back very badly, and everyone just stared at me when I was lifting. No one tried to help me. And by me being on probation and having to go to the hospital and take 2 days off from work, they gave me a point for that or something like that. A point and a half or something. I got pointed for that. And you're on a 3-point system when you're on probation. So I really wasn't allowed to mess up on anything else after that. And even with my doctor's excuse didn't work because I was on probation. Okay, so I'm going on break one day, and another employee walks up to me and say, "So how is it over there working with her? It looks like you're kind of having a hard time." And I said, "Well, it's okay. The job's a little hard. I just have to get used to it." And she was like, "Is she, nice to you?" Because I heard that there was a situation. So this is meaning that the ladies that called me in the bathroom had to tell her that they saw the lady grab me or whatever. And I said, "Well, there was a situation." I said, "But everything's okay." So I think she went back and told that lady that was training me. So I get to work one day and she walks up to me and say, "Are you intimidated by me?" And I said, "No, why do you say that?" She said, "Well, I hear that you're going around complaining about the way that I trained you." And I said, "No, I've never complained about the way that you trained me." And she was like, "Well, okay, well, and that was that. She didn't say anything else about it. So I was like, okay, well, guys, this is where it gets creepy, okay? She walks up to me one day and she says, "Do you know how to do hair?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I know how to braid or, different things." I was just letting her know different things that I know how to do. And she was like, "Because I want someone to braid my hair." And I was like, "Oh, well, I was going to school at that time and working. I had a lot going on." And so I told her, I said, "Well, I will let you know when I'm able to do it." Guys, I had already started feeling creepy vibes about her. I feel like she was trying to get me fired. I feel like she was trying to get into my personal space, come into my home, things like that. And I wanted I was starting to avoid her. I didn't want to, you know, I started to realize the type of person that she was, and I seen that she was very, very close with the supervisors and all the head people, and they talked a lot. It just kind of made me feel uncomfortable because sometimes when you're dealing with people like that, they kind of put extra pressure on you, and it makes you feel like nobody's human. You know, like everyone's just perfect. Um, so um, I noticed that she started getting aggressive, and she was like, one day I came to work, and she said, "Can I have your phone number?" And uh, so that way I can call you and see when you'll be available to do my hair. And I was like, got like my stomach kind of balled up a little bit. I kind of felt like my back was against the wall. I mean, she was a little older than me, so I felt a little intimidated, a little bit. I guess I did feel a little. I wouldn't say intimidated. I would say pressured, more pressured than intimidated, because I knew what her plans were. I knew what she was. I didn't know it was gang stalking, but I knew she was up to something. You know. So, guys, I must admit, I gave her my number, right? But on our days off, she was calling me, and I was studying. I didn't answer. We were off for 2 days. I didn't answer her those 2 days, and she kept calling. And the whole time, I kept saying, I'm going to have to deal with this when I get back to work. So I get back to work. She's like, why didn't you answer my phone call? I really want you to do my hair. And it's the way she was being so demanding and looking at me, guys. It was creepy. And I said, I'm sorry, I've been busy, you know, with my kids in school and everything. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to do your hair. Um, so this part right here is when it gets real crazy. Okay. Now, remember, okay, so that following weekend, my ex calls my phone and asks me where I am. And I said, I'm at home. Why? And he shows up. And he said, let me show you what I have on my phone. And he starts to laugh. And he showed me a tracking device. He said, I can find you anywhere you go just by having your phone number. And he would never tell me where he got that app from. I tried to look it up on Google. You know, it was kind of hard to find the exact app that he was using. So he had, based on him having my phone number, he can track me everywhere I went. Okay. So, weird, right? Okay, so he comes to pick me up from work one day, and someone's following us, okay? High beams on. He said someone's following us. And I said, I see it every street that he turned down all the way to my house. This person we pull in the driveway, this person pulls behind us. Now my heart is probably have fell on the floor by now. It was the lady from work that trained me, and she walked up to his side of the car through the window and looked at me and said, can you do my hair? It was so robotic. It was. And she said, I've been trying to, you've been avoiding me. I just want you to do my hair. And I'm thinking, you just saw me at work just now and you didn't say anything about it. So it began to get scary after that. I told her I just wasn't able to do it. And she said, okay, that's fine. So she came to work that week. After that weekend, her hair looked good. Someone had braided her hair. So I'm like, why couldn't they do it at first? So I'm like, she should be happy her hair looks good, you know. I did compliment her on her hair. It seems like that week she started acting weird, and she was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to train you and do my job at the same time. And guys, my training was nowhere near up. That is a hard job to do. And the money that they pay you, you have to learn a lot. There's a lot to learn and do. So my training wasn't up. And there was a nice lady that was a part of the training program. Well, she was a part of the hiring process, and she worked in the office. And she said that she was going to try to get me some additional training. But something happened before I can even get to that point. Um, she just kept saying, I don't think I can train you and do my job. And it was weird because I kept wondering from the beginning, why do they have a machine operator training me? A machine operator that already operates two machines. It never registered to me at all. So, let's see. Where do I go from there? Okay, so the troubleshooting started getting harder. Everything, it was just weird. No one was trying to help me do anything. It's like they threw me out to the dogs. I had came to work with a new hairstyle. I got my hair done every 2 weeks, and I used to get compliments on my hair all the time. But this particular week, the lady that trained me on the machines, her and one of the other employees came from around the back of the machines. They both had spray bottles in their hand, and they were spraying my head or whatever. And I thought maybe they were just playing. They just kept doing it, and they were laughing. I'm like, are they not afraid of doing this, thinking they can get in trouble? But I guess not. So I didn't say anything about it. A lot of people seen it, and they was like, oh my God, like, why are they doing this? My uniform was wet. It was time to go home. I went in the bathroom, changed clothes, and I went home, and I really didn't know what to think about that. I started worried about my job. I was like, I feel like someone was trying to get rid of me on the job, and they were. So, I would say the next few days I came in, she just kept saying about training me doing her own job. And she said, well, I went to the office and talked to them about it. And I said, oh, okay. She said, so you might be getting a new trainer. Well, I worked the whole 12 hours, and at the end of that day, a supervisor told me to come to the office. And they said, I see your passion. He said, I watch you on the camera every day. I see your passion. I know that you're passionate about the job. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go, and under the Tennessee Department of Labor code, I don't have to let you know why. And I said, okay. And they said, you will now be escorted out the building. Guys, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't the only one. A lot of people were getting, well, not everyone. It was people that were starting to become aware of how they were doing people, I would say, were losing their job out of nowhere. But they never gave me a reason why. I came to work every day. I did everything that I was asked to do. And right after that, this lady called my phone, guys. And she said, I'm so sorry about... no, she tried to act like she didn't know what happened. And she was asking me why I wasn't at work. And I told her that, you know, I got discharged. And they told me they didn't have to tell me why. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And everyone that I worked with, they kept calling me, telling me that this lady got me fired because she was mad because one of the young ladies that worked for SMX, that she felt